Howdy do, traders. I'm just going to put a little live stream on here. Right now, we haven't had a whole lot. This is a 30-minute chart, and this is London session. Oftentimes, New York session mimics London session. So we see London, we see pre-market, and what did it do? It stayed in a box. Look at that box. This is 3 a.m. Yep, there's London's box right there to about right there. That's London's box. We already took out the London low and the London high. And here's our opening range high. We took out this 4-hour high. Overnight, we did make an all-time high. I have the level marked up here. Well, I had it marked up here at 450 as being the 25% extension of this range. It went away for some reason, but it's right here. And this will be 25% extension. Of the range from when we went all the way down and we came all the way back up. If we extend a range, typically it'll be about a 25% extension. So that's here. And I feel like until we take that level, there is going to still be potential for more upside. But that doesn't mean we're going there today. New York typically mimics London. Asia, it wanted to trade up and up and up and up and up. And I got lucky. I shorted the high. And so I started the day with a $600 kicker. Took a pre-market trade. Made a little bit more. And so right now, as it sits, I'm up $1,162 and almost funded. Almost. I hope I can get it today. But I'm going to be very selective on my trades. So I like that we pushed through here and then it kind of just pulled back down to settlement again. I like that we hit it again. I wanted to see an extension above that range. We filled in this fair value gap right here. We made it up to 20. We look at a 1-minute time frame. That was just one candle. Probably some sort of a news event that made that happen. I don't know, folks. We're going to watch it a while. Right now, I don't feel comfortable taking anything. I mean, we really haven't gotten much of a signal. I did take a short earlier for a return back to settlement when we popped that 4 hour high, but I didn't have the confidence to hold it, so I moved my stop right away, got stopped out at break even. But it looks like settlement's going to be a magnet. What I would like to see is we go up and take that 25% extension, put up a real nice reversal signal, and come back to settlement. That's what I would like to see. But typically on Friday, we don't extend the weekly range. Typically, it's more of a pullback or just what it's doing right now, just kind of chilling out. So today may not be the day for me to get funded. But if I'm patient, Monday will be the day. I like the idea of this one returning to settlement, but we really don't have a signal. I just cooked an omelet. I apologize because I didn't even offer to cook y'all one. Being really selfish this morning. Let's see. Well, the last news that I see is EU officials and diplomats European framework trade deal with the U.S. could happen this weekend. That happened at 9:35. This candle was what reacted to that news. This is a little bit of a fair value gap to the downside, and we did take that high. I think I'll try one with just micros over here. I'm not going to get too crazy with it. There we go. We already got filled. And just try to get back to settlement, which is at 93. Just since we've been ranging so good, maybe I'll get lucky here. It's only what 112 points. We can get back to first prez. That'd be awesome. That's at 56. Yeah, it's still not going to make me much money. I mean, we're just in a really tight range. But that's the only trade I see, so I'll take it. We don't really have a signal, but we double tap this. We really need it to go below here for a breaker signal. But if you shrink it down to a smaller time frame, there may be a signal here. Let's see. Let's put this. Oh man, now here we go. We're going to start running up, aren't we? Right when I get in, we're going to start changing gears. I'll put that one back on a 1 minute. We'll put this one on a 30-second chart. No breaker. That's that candle that came out when the news came out. It got a little premature. 34, and the news came out 35. It was definitely reacting to that news though. But we took the high. Then that's a 4-hour regular trading hour high. Rejection at those points is pretty common. So let's see if the 15-second, the only thing I could think we'd be working off of, since this was news driven, would want to be one of these breakers over here. And the high of that breaker is right at the regular trading hour high. So we're still within that breaker's you know, if you see a breaker, you want candle bodies to respect it. This took the highs, so that's good. But we can't really use this as part of our um, indication. We have to use just a regular movement because this is a manipulation here. And so you could say this one would be our high. This whole thing, I think, is manipulation, so the up and the down. And this one would be our breaker here, way down here. Or we could use this one. Well, this one's a new high for sure. We have to use that one as our breaker. I'm in on this trade, and I'm trying to talk myself into staying in it, and my signal's not there, as you can see. So I'm trying to talk myself into staying in it. Do I think it's going to go where I'm guessing it's going to go? I do, but trading is not a game of guessing. Look at that. I'm already 50 bucks in the hole. Don't do what I'm doing right here, basically what I'm telling you. This is a bad trade I'm getting out. I'm jumping in because I want to make something happen, but that's a good way to lose your money. And I just lost $50 of it. So at this point, our breaker, the only valid one we would need to validate is right here. And if we validate it, am I going to trust or that we're not going to return to settlement? It'd have to be one aggressive move to the downside. I would like to see it move away from this area. Or I'm just going to be a real boring live stream because I'm just going to watch. That's the first money I've given back today. Gave back $50. We are, I mean, there's several things saying here. A down move could be possible just because we're at a 4-hour high. We're at the opening range high. But until this consolidation started, we're pretty bullish. And Asia really wanted to crank up last night. I lost my first trade with Asia last night. If we go back and look at it here. Where were we making those all-time highs? Right here. Okay. So we poked that, and then we kind of came back down, and I thought, well, I'm gonna short that. And then we came back up and stopped me out. I think we validated again. Yeah, maybe this is the one I shorted. Yeah, this is the one I shorted. So we validated the breaker. That's the 30-second chart. We go to 1 minute chart. Let's go look at it this way. All right, here we go. So we validated this breaker, but we didn't go 10 points. We only went 8 points. And so I lost that trade. And then it ripped up and made another new high. And I was like, well, I think they're trying to sell us on the fact that we're going to just keep going up all night. And I think we're going to pull back. So after this whole thing transpired and this didn't make a new high, I went ahead and took a short. And that's where I made my money last night. It was a pretty good one. But you can see we're starting to offer higher now. When I'm having to get the 30-second charts and all this just to try to find a trade, that's a bad sitch. Because that means I'm a little desperate for this thing to happen. And I've been doing great all week. There's no sense in me getting desperate. Trades come up every day, a lot of times twice, 3 times a day, sometimes even more. And there's just no sense in trying to force something. No sense in it. I'm not showing my, edit. I didn't change this to public. Howdy do, folks. I've been over here talking to myself. I thought I changed the listing on the live stream to unlisted. I recorded a video where I needed to manipulate through several different windows. And so I did a live stream and changed the setting from public to private. And I forgot to change it back. So I've been sitting here with a private live stream here. Man, I would love to take this short. I can just see it falling out of bed here. But I can't. I can't take it. I need to see it move away from this area. And it may not. Let's go back over what I said before. Do a 30-minute chart. London. This is entire London session right here. 3:30 to right there. That's the entire London session. There's the high, there's the low. We already took out both of those. This is midnight. This is Asia at 11 p.m. Made an all-time high. I shorted that sucker and made pretty good money. I'm almost funded. If I can somehow squeak 500 bucks out of today, I'll get funded. But right now, there's no squeaking to be had. It's just trash. Now, New York session will typically just continue whatever London session did. So if we base everything on that, we should pull back. And that's what I would like to see happen. But, settlements here. I don't like that. If settlement was way down here in the first presentation fair value gap area, I'd be okay with that. But when we're trading at the very top and it's just, 7 points off a settlement or whatever to the high of the opening range, I mean, we're at what, 14 points? Didn't really have much of a gap open. We had a little one to the downside. So here's our close right here from yesterday. And we opened here and then immediately filled it. So we have all of these highs. Look at that. Regular trading hours only, okay? We took out a 4 hour. I think my 4 hours got to be messed up here. Yes, look at that. I didn't adjust these this morning. So that's a regular trading hour, 4 hour high. Those are relative equal highs. And RTH is what's important. And we've just made another relative equal high right there. I think if we pull it all the way back to this one, man, that's the one. That's the one right there. These need to fall before we can consider a short. So I think whatever we do here, I might view this as a pullback opportunity. But we could leave all those. We could leave all those. If we were to pull back, say, to first pres, tap the center, show a willingness to reverse, that would be a trade I would take. This one, I mean, you could. Our breaker would be here, but it's just ugly. It's not clean at all. I don't like reversals that are not clean. Yeah, this may be a sit on your hands kind of day, folks. I do like this downward movement, though. It looks like it's got some aggression to it. Is there any news driving this move? No, nothing new. Now I wish I would have shorted it, but we had the wrong 4 hour high marked out. That was not a good situation. I don't know why I do that sometimes on Friday. I come in here and I think I got everything right and I don't adjust. That is a beauty of relative equal highs. Absolute beauty. And we took them out during the overnight. See, overnight is way up here. Well, yeah, I like that idea. If we can offer down here to first pres, put up a reversal signal, maybe going back to settlement, maybe even bottom of the opening range, that'd be great. But I'm thinking it might just do what London did and just kind of hang out. This one hung out below settlement, and this one's hanging out above settlement. Right now, there ain't nothing I like. I like this fair value gap to the downside. Don't get me wrong. I do like that, but it just went to settlement. And we've been ranging here all morning. So we need to move away from this area in a decisive way before I'd be willing to look for a trade at all. I won't take a single trade today if I don't get what I want to see out of this deal. I can buy myself flowers right here. about $400 away. I'm going to change this to 400. Guys, I don't think I want you to have to suffer through. Heck, I'll put it a little higher, 450, because that should lock me out or liquidate me before it hits that. I don't know if I want you guys to have to suffer through watching this price action because it is absolute trash. And I really don't expect it to do much. What I'm thinking of doing here, and I've been doing this all week, and that's kept me on the straight and narrow, is put an alert in my phone. You know, if we take this level, then that'll tell me I need to start watching. And maybe even put an alert up here too. Well, if it takes that level, it'll alert me and I can watch. And also put an alert down here, or maybe at first press, 350, and that'll alert me and tell me I need to start watching. And I'm just going to go about my day. I don't think I'm going to suffer through this sitting here. I've got some things I need to do. I could be in town Ubering. I could be doing anything besides sitting here watching this Chinese torture contraption that or I guess it's Japanese candlestick, so it's a Japanese torture contraption bouncing back and forth. This is depleting all the willpower you have to stay out of the market. You're going, oh, well, I guess I could try to do a range trade or something. You know, that's a trap. Don't do it. I mean, you could do it. That's you trade your system. A range trader would be making bank here. $100 a pop, 5-point range, whatever it is. Every time it goes up, just put a short settlement. You'd be good. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to trade my system. It's been working, and I'm just going to stick to it. So let's see here. I actually have an account with a company called Moo Moo. I opened it up when I was doing stocks, but I think I've got $4 in there. But it's the only platform I've found where you can go to the futures contract and put in a price alert, and it will ding on your phone when it hits it. I tried it in Thinkorswim. It'll send me a computer notification. You know, there's several things that'll do, but this is the only one that I've found that'll actually tell you to pay attention. And you can do it, set it where it's always going to alert you every time it hits that price. And so it'll ding several times if you miss it the first time. So I'll just put an alert in here. If price rises above, what is that level there? 424. If price rises above 424, I want it to tell me something good's about to happen. And I like the first presentation fair value gap. That'll be, we'll say 360. If price, there's actually one little PD array here. This to me is the breaker. So we came down and we took out these lows here. And so our breaker is the last up close candle is actually right here. So that could act as a support to the upside. The problem is with this breaker is the fair value gaps to the upside don't exist really. Once we already got past the breaker, we don't see any fair value gaps here. If you go to a smaller time frame, you might be able to see one, but right there is the only one on this whole run up. There's a little bitty one right there. So that could be a point where we pull back to at some point today, but I wouldn't expect it to do much more than just go to that. Let's make it bigger so we can see it. And you can see we wicked into it. We respected it. And this is a bullish, so we'll need to change the color. So we did respect it. We wicked into it. I actually had put an order in here at some point. I think we were already trading up here, and I put an order in. Actually, I think I put it at 77, the top of this breaker thing, and I never did get filled. But I was just going to try to get in here and try to just take it back to settlement, which would have just been like 10 points. That was my hypo on that, but I didn't get filled on it. Had I put it where this fair value gap is, I would have gotten filled and I would have made it. That would have been 75, just up to there, 93. Yeah, that would have been a, probably would have tried for 15 points there. I would have tried for that. 75, 85, 90. That'd been 18 points on a mini. That's nearly 400 bucks. That would have got me there. But I didn't get filled. I was concerned about this breaker. I wanted it to validate it before I tried to jump in. And this was also very early in the day. This is at 9:49. Opening range hadn't even been established yet. So just trying to be real patient, but that would have been a decent little trade. And we would have to go to a smaller time frame to get a breaker lower that, probably the high of that candle would be considered a breaker. But I don't know. I just the action price action is not clean enough for me to risk losing a single penny of the money that I've already made today. It's just not clean enough. So that one would have been a real nice maybe trade. But then looking at it in hindsight, it would have worked out okay. But when that was forming, you didn't know because we hadn't even taken this high yet. And so we're not really having any sort of decisive moves in either direction. And until we do, I'm not interested. And I'm not going to sit here on a live stream and make y'all suffer through this stuff. I'm going to go ahead and leave these on here. I was about to delete them, but I'm going to leave them on here. So I'm going to put in a level of 380 to start paying attention at 380. $23, 380. And then I'm going to put another one to start paying attention at 23, 350. I'll do it here, 360. The 380 should alert me, and then I'll just be watching until see what it does next. But if it was to come down to either one of these, I just think this is just too narrow of a range. I mean, if we came back down to here, settlement would be our first objective, possibly relative equal highs up here. There's a nice set of them. That's 46 points. I would like to see those taken today, but extending the range on a Friday is not very common. So we may be leaving those for next week. If they got taken, would I be willing to take a short back down to settlement? Possibly. Possibly. But right now, nothing. So if you want to mark out those levels I have on your chart and kind of look at them, that would be a good thing, I suppose. This is opening range high, opening range low, first presentation fair value gap. The only fair value gap we've had besides that first presentation fair value gap is this one. I mean, you could mark these out in the chop, but there's no sense in it. They don't really mean anything. They're just running liquidity down low, running it about 5, running it down low. So these are inconsequential. A fair value gap and a run gets traded back to, but a fair value gap in chop, it doesn't even register. The only breaker we could mark out on here is this one. You can just use settlement as your breaker line. And I wouldn't trust anything going past here unless it got significantly lower because it's just going to go right back to settlement. So that's kind of where we sit. I don't see any point in wasting time here when I could be out making money. So I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. I do appreciate y'all watching. I hope you can catch you a good trade today. I can lock this sucker down right now, $500 away from getting funded, and wait till Monday. I'm fine. I made my money today. I made my money in Asia last night. Most of it. Made a little bit this morning. I made a little bit in pre-market, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I aimed for this little. This is no, that's not. I did a pre-market trade where I was trying to get to the lows. We had taken out the highs, and I was expecting it to take this low right here, or no, this low. Pre-market. Yeah. So we'd come up, we failed to make a new high, and we bounced off of a breaker here. And so I went ahead and took a short and got, I think I just went to this, and then I might have tried it for this one, but I got a little bit of money out of that one too. Once I already have profit in, I've been sizing down so I don't lose. You can, on a mini, you can lose $200 with snap of a finger. So I didn't want to risk getting stopped out, so I just put on smaller size and I don't know, made a couple $100 off of that. That wasn't bad. But that's it. There really hadn't been any other trades today. If you look for the opening range, if you wait for the opening range to complete, it completed right here on this candle. And we have done absolutely nothing since it completed. We've stayed in a 20-point range, well, maybe 30-point range. And that is no good. Good luck to y'all. I hope everybody has a really good weekend. Love each and every one of you. Remember to be kind to yourself and be kind to one another. Don't sit all weekend staring at the charts. Go out and live a little. Market's always going to be